It is a Friday, TGIF, the 26th of July. Thank you for joining us on, hopefully it will continue to be a beautiful day and a nice weekend. We are going to have some great guests coming today, but it is Friday. So on Friday, we do want to pass along all our great sponsors and supporters who help make the show possible. And they are, starting with our premier supporters, the City of Owatonna, along with Express Employment Professionals, the Festival of the Arts, Owatonna Public Utilities, the Safe and Drug-Free Coalition of Steele County, and United Way of Steele County. Our primary supporters are Amy Swain Hearing Centers, Coda Living Community and Park Place Senior Living, and the Little Theater of Owatonna. Many interlude supporters, some of whom include Abraham Consulting Technologies, Brenda Bednar Mortgage, Glenn Megger and Tim Thomas of the Brick Megger Funeral Home and the Mitford Funeral Home, Brookdale Senior Living, Sterling House, and Clare Bridge of Owatonna, Carlson Branstad and Company, CPAs. Also, our interlude supporters include ERA, Gillespie Real Estate, Fairview Animal Medical Center, along with Horizon Eye Care Professionals, and Clancher & Son Landscaping and Concrete, Napa Auto Service, Owatonna Business Incubators, Pizza Ranch of Owatonna. Perfinium Financial is also an interlude supporter, as well as RNK Electric, Snap Fitness, Steele County Historical Society, the Third Hand Incorporated Video Productions, and TPS Insurance. And we are always looking for more supporters at the program. If you're a business and would like to be an underwriter, for more information, all you need to do is contact the producer, Leanne Alt, at 390-5751. And if you are a viewer and would like to continue supporting us, you can do that monetarily by sending a donation to 1130 North Elm in Owatonna. And as I said, a great lineup of guests today. We're going to be talking in our second segment. The Chamber has a new director. Her name is Jennifer Libby. She's going to be here, and we're going to learn all about her. But first, we're going to be talking with members of the United Way with the Otto Bremer Foundation grant that they have given to the United Way. We're going to see where they are as far as their progress in that. And that's all going to be happening right after we hear from some of our fine supporters. So please stay with us.
I'm Dan Branstad of Carlson Branstad and Company, Certified Public Accountants. We support the Owatonna Today Show.
Owatonna Public Utilities, real people, real reliable, real progress. Making life a little easier day after day, taking pride in our community, listening to what you say, a voice you can talk to. We're growing with you in mind in everything we do. Owatonna Public Utilities.
Hi, this is Laura Ressler greeting you from the Steele County Historical Society's History Center, where we're honoring the past and looking towards the future. We're proud to be a sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
Our first guests on today's edition of the Owatonna Today Show are a couple of members of the board of the Steele County United Way. They are Dave Albrecht and Brian Coleman. Hello, gentlemen. Glad to have you
How are you today?
I'm just great. It's a nice summer day. Now, first of all, Dave, why don't you give us, you are a board member. What is your committee affiliation? You have to break down the committees. What committee are you on?
I'm chair of the Strategic Health Committee of the United Way that we're working with, and so there's three different committees. I chair the Health Committee, we have a Education Committee, and Brian is the chair of the Income Committee.
Now we're going to be talking about the Otto Bremer Foundation grant. So why don't you explain to someone who may just be joining us and is unfamiliar, what is that in association with the United Way?
We've been here on this show before, but this really started about 2 years ago, where the United Way determined that it wanted to take a look at strategy and this traditional role of funding agencies. And what came out of that is we wanted to take a look at what we could do to be more transitional, if you will, as opposed to transactional. Transitional meaning people with issues around income, education, health, whatever it is, how they might or how we might address the root causes of that so that we get systemic change to pull people out of those conditions. So that was the initial crux of the plan. We started off, and out of that we wrote a grant to the Otto Bremer Foundation to help us with both the research end of that, what are the issues that are within these populations, and then also the second part of that grant is devoted to what actions can we take and implement in our community that will start to help people to pull out of those particular conditions that exist with them.
And you hope to accomplish this in 2 years, was it? Huh? Or 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, or?
I believe that the implementation phase was going to be in the second year.
Okay.
And
okay.
hopefully that it would sustain itself.
Okay. And what have you done so far?
Well, I think in the research phase, each of us have a committee that's been established, and we've been looking at statistical information. We've been gathering background information about our community with respect to these specific issues. And then we contracted with a group out of the Twin Cities Rainbow Research who has been helping us, particularly so far in the research phase. But they've actually interviewed all members of our committees and tried to understand that. And then we've done focus groups of people that were brought together to talk around these three topics. So the focus groups have been established. And
were community leaders or community members? So who made up the focus groups?
Well, we had focus groups within each, both income, health, and education sectors, and they were comprised of community members. We've had 13 focus groups, about 106 participants who took place in that.
And they represent individuals who are low income, minorities, people, just everyday people that are struggling. We targeted them in terms of getting them to participate, and then we were helped facilitate. We were trained to facilitate by Rainbow Research, but actually community members and United Way personnel did the facilitation of the focus groups.
And what came out of that? What did you learn as a result?
There are a lot of issues.
Yes, that's a good, easy way of putting it.
Probably more than you
we're actually waiting for the summation. I did see a synopsis of that last week, a couple of weeks ago. But there are real issues out there. In terms of barriers that exist, why people struggle, whether it's in any of those three. You can speak for health. It's just economics, access. They
and everybody can guess that's just one area, but there's so many more.
There are so many more, and that's what we've really found out is multiple issues
across all of them. And we're looking at with Rainbow trying to gather all the information and kind of see where all of those situations intersect and try to address them from there. We do have a next phase in this as well, which we'll be doing the workplace surveys, where we'll be going out to within the community and surveying the employees of different agencies across sectors.
And what are some of the questions you're going to be asking in the survey?
Well, they varied from each one of those areas. I'm trying to think of something.
Yeah, and I can maybe speak to the health committee because that's what I'm most familiar with. But we identified 4 primary issues within our health committee. It was obesity, depression, oral health, and asthma. So we would be talking about access to fresh foods. We would be talking to about issues about feeling down. It would be general issues. Does this affect people within the workplace? Are these real issues to people that are a little bit better off, but it's to get perspective. So income probably had a few other things.
Income, we kind of focused on, the full-time work versus part-time work, staffing services, those types of issues, and see what types of employment individuals have, or what types of barriers they're facing getting into an employment, whether it be backgrounds or whatever.
All right. And what's next? What's part of the next phase?
Well, I think we'll get the employer surveys back, and then there's going to be a community forum roundtable where we're really going to say these are the things that we found. So it's a little early yet to say what are the themes. We do believe that the themes will cross all three of the focuses, income, education, and health. And ultimately, what we're trying to do is find one or two things that United Way can focus on in terms of change process that affects all three. So that's what really the culmination is. I believe that we will be coming back with recommendations to the board in the fall, October, November timeframe as far as what it is we can act upon.
Now, this isn't just, it's a Steele County, so you'll be Medford and Blooming Prairie. They're more rural. Are the issues a little different probably in those smaller communities?
Not really. I
Not
think they have
predominantly. I think there are some issues, particularly with transportation for services.
Sure.
We run into those kind of things. I don't think that the issues necessarily are unique. And in fact, I believe some of the focus group personnel were from different areas.
Right.
So.
Now, Brian, you work with the workforce.
Right.
How is that going to? So you have an inside view there, as Dave does with the health.
Yeah.
So what are the main issues? Is it socioeconomic? Is it ethnic? What do you think is some of the where a lot of the problems lie?
Well, first, I think one of the things is that I think that's why each one of us was chosen, because Dave has his specialty in healthcare, Mark has his specialty in education, I'm on the income side. As far as the overall, it's really hard to tell, to be honest with you. The differences that individuals bring, and the barriers that they face, are all over the board that come through our door. So, we did have a focus group there, and we were able to get some feedback from individuals there, and let Rainbow do their magic and collect all the data and let us all know what's happening.
So they collect the data and they make recommendations to you, or you make the recommendations based on the data?
As far as to whom? To the board?
Yes, to the board.
I think that it all works in a cycle where Rainbow comes to us. We actually met a couple weeks ago with Rainbow. They talked about some of the findings and similarities. We then have discussion and move forward as far as what we're going to do.
It's really a partnership. We jointly are doing this. I can say that in our meetings with Rainbow, we've challenged them, they've challenged us, so it's a give and take.
It sounds like a huge mammoth project.
Right.
And we thank you that, we have such expertise to do it on that. So is there something real quickly that we didn't touch on that you wanted to say before we leave? Or we've covered pretty much everything for now?
I would just say wait for the outcome, and if you can participate in the community forums, that would be great.
That would be awesome.
And we'll have you back to give us some more updates and let us know when that's all happening.
All right.
Good.
Okay. Dave Albrecht and Brian Coleman from the United Way Board, and we're going to be back after this speaking with Jennifer Libby. So stay with us.
Hello, I'm Sean McNulty.
And I'm Deb Gillard with Brookdale Senior Living, Sterling House, and Clarebridge of Owatonna.
And we are a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, Ann Plascanko here from Senior Place, and it's our 25th anniversary this year. We provide health and wellness programs, and one of those programs is massage therapy with Betsy Wright.
Yes, Repose Massage can give you pain and stress relief naturally, so make an appointment today.
Yes, and find out all the other programs and services we have to offer and join Senior Place today.
Have you talked to your teen about marijuana lately? Maybe you should. Regular marijuana use can sap a teen's motivation to learn. Users do not live up to their potential and drop out of positive activities. Marijuana affects memory and learning and stays in your system for weeks. Marijuana also affects judgment and perception. Reaction time when driving is reduced by 41% after smoking one joint and 63% after smoking two, affecting the safety of your teen and other drivers on the road. You need to talk to your teen about the effects of marijuana use. It's not just a harmless high. For more information, please contact the Steele County Safe and Drug-Free Coalition.
Hi, I'm Glenn Mager.
And I'm Tim Thomas of the Brick Mager Funeral Home, and we're proud to serve the Medford and Owatonna areas with cremation and traditional funeral services.
And we're proud to be a part of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, my name's Dave Olson, and I'm with R&K Electric, where we provide power to the people. We're proud supporters of the Owatonna Today Show.
We are back now with Jennifer Libby, who is the new director of the Chamber. Hello and welcome, Jennifer.
Good morning, thank you.
Glad to have you on board. Now, I said new Chamber director, but you are not new, basically, to the city of Owatonna. You're new as a resident, right?
I'm new to this role.
To this role, okay. Mm-hmm. But you have been, you know Owatonna.
I've been in Owatonna with my family for 14 years next month.
And in what capacity?
I moved here 14 years ago to take a job with Cybex. And so I came here and, that brought us here. And then we just fell in love with the community.
So you came from the Twin Cities? Or where?
Came from the Eau Claire, Wisconsin area.
Wisconsin. Okay, so, you're a cheesehead, huh?
I am a cheesehead and a Packer fan, not going to lie.
Well, you're in good company. There's a lot of Packer fans, unfortunately, here in Owatonna. But now, so you have a family, you have 2 children. Are they in school or are they
Actually,
growing?
Between my husband and I, we have 7, and we have 4 that are
I
school
got 2.
age.
Okay.
And so they all go to, the oldest graduated from Owatonna High School last year.
Okay.
And I now have a junior as well, and then a 6th grader and a 4th grader.
And what is your background? What was it that you did at Cybex?
I was hired at Cybex and worked as the director of HR there.
Okay.
So I've been in industry for about 22 years, and about 20 of that was in manufacturing, and then the last 2 years was in healthcare with United Health Group.
Okay, so how do you see that as blending with the director of the Chamber? I mean, you applied for the position. You apparently, felt that you had, some background in that. How do you feel that would help you?
I think bringing the business perspective is a strong voice for advocacy within the Chamber. And I was fortunate to be involved with the Chamber 10 years ago as their board chair.
Oh, okay.
And then a number of committees as well. And then I was an Economic Development Authority Commissioner for about 3 years. And so I have a passion for the community and for economic development here. Development as well as retention of businesses.
Oh, yes.
And then we obviously have such a robust tourism aspect too that gets me excited as well about things. And so when Brad left, it was certainly a loss for the community, but a few people mentioned asked whether I'd considered it, and it just felt like the right thing and the right fit. And so I think it's always great to have the voice of business, whether you have 3 employees or 30,000 employees. We like that voice of advocacy at a chamber level.
Now, what is it? Are you going to kind of pick up where Jeff left off, or do you have a different way to go?
Well, I really have a tremendous amount of respect for Brad and the work he and the staff did. And so there'll be a lot of continuity, especially as I seek first to understand, to use Covey's language, and learn. So I think Brad and I have a lot of shared philosophical perspectives in terms of the importance of economic development and advocacy for legislative aspects and in supporting tourism and membership. And Brad was instrumental, along with the staff, in obtaining a 5-star accreditation for the Chamber.
Yes, that was big. That was big. That's something you need to try to continue, don't you?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So what are your goals, and where would you like to see the Chamber move forward? Because things are forever changing.
They are forever changing, and my first goals are to get out and meet with the businesses and the members, and this is my 11th day on the job, and so that's been a key part of what I've been doing so far. Obviously, develop relationships with the wonderful staff. We are blessed in this community to have a very strong staff at the Chamber of Commerce already, and then beyond that, grabbing back onto that strategic plan. And our strategic plan, we talk a lot about membership retention and growth. We talk about further involvement for members in the Chamber, and what can the Chamber do, because we are a member-driven organization,
right.
And so we exist to help our membership and further a positive business environment in Owatonna. So picking up on that strategic plan, talking about that a little more, getting more involved with the legislative agenda, not only for Owatonna, but for the chamber, Minnesota Chamber as well. And then always bringing that back to our membership base and saying, this is what other chambers are saying, or this is what other communities are feeling. But how is Owatonna feeling about that? What are our needs? So I think that's a key part of it as well.
I guess I was a little surprised as I started learning more about the Chamber's role in communities, that they are politically active.
Right.
So, and again, as I learned more, I saw the need for it. So, was that kind of a basis, probably like one of the questions, what affiliations or how do you feel politically? Do they want to match you politically to probably what Brad was or to what the policy is? Because you get someone in who probably see things differently.
Yeah, and I think a lot of I think that's a natural selection when you look at who's attracted to a chamber role, because obviously the interest is going to be what's going to promote a business rich environment and a culture that's positive for business, because what's positive for business is positive for our residents. And that was one of the things that really struck me when I interviewed here 14 years ago, is what a robust community we have. It's evident by the industry around town. It's evident by our flourishing tourism trade here. And so what kind of political interest is going to be necessary to keep that kind of climate going, if you will?
Of course, a lot of the things that you're telling me about, your goals and that, a lot of it is so broad. Do you have any specific things in mind that you'd like to start implementing at all? Or say, so you've only been here 11 days.
Well,
so
that's okay.
Maybe along the line.
It's a fair question. When you talk about political advocacy, one of the things that really strikes me is the Highway 14 project. We had a wonderful meeting. The project, the Highway 14 project team has just been amazing. And just last week, we had an update meeting with legislators around the state, with MnDOT officials, and with other business community and chamber from around the state. And the number one thing, they said, the number one reason that we've gotten funding for that project in a very tight economy is because of the outreach of the membership. So it's about the letters, it's about the calls. So when you think it doesn't make a difference, one person can't. Certainly we're more together than we are individually, but when you hear from the chamber or when you hear from other areas, send a letter, make a call. It really makes a difference.
Well, that reinforcement too helps to keep people, we're doing something right.
Absolutely.
So we have to keep on with that. Now, in the future, of course, again, the Highway 14 project is tourism. How do you keep that at the forefront? I mean, we have things to offer people, but you get certain groups in. After a while, how do you get new groups? You get a lot of the people, I have to say, are they're probably senior citizens. How do you encourage younger people?
Well, that's a great question, and I think, again, we have such a strong staff at the Chamber, and Lisa Havelka is our Director of Tourism, and she just does a fabulous job, along with Ann, to respond to the inquiries, because a lot of times you can get inquiries and it depends on what you do with them. And so they do a great job of really listening to the customer and ascertaining what they're looking for. Do they want a tour, or are they looking at an event? And so it's all about networking, frankly. Lisa was selected to be part of a very elite group on a governor's council, so it's about meeting with her peers and networking, and then responsiveness. Again, we're member driven and it's a customer service orientation, so as people look to come into Owatonna, how are we responding to what they're asking for and what we can do for them? We all know Owatonna is a fabulous community, but how do we convey that out? And it's being responsive and it's being professional.
And it's nice when you have somebody who's enthusiastic. I've always noticed Lisa over the years when she, was downtown business, she's so enthusiastic.
Absolutely.
And that's catchy. And
Absolutely.
you know it's somebody who cares, who's interested, and will give it their all. And I think that's probably one of the things that I've seen throughout the years, with Brad and everything, too, with the Chamber.
Good,
and
that's great to hear.
I see that with you, too.
Wonderful.
So we're so glad to have that. Now, we've got just a little bit of time left. If there's something that you would like to say that we haven't touched on, because you're brand new, but if there's something I've left out, I want to make sure you do get to say something that you want to say, maybe.
Well, I appreciate that. I think the number one thing I'd like to say is that we encourage questions. We encourage people to stop down at the Chamber, to reach out to me. You'll see me in the community. You'll see our staff in the community. I know we've talked about 5 days of fun coming up this, weekend, so feel free to get involved in that. We have a lot of feedback from around the state on what a great chamber Owatonna has, and the reason we have that is because of our membership and because of our staff. So please reach out, please give us feedback, positive and constructive, on how we can be the voice of business in Owatonna.
Great, and they can reach you at the chamber, no doubt.
Directly at the chamber, absolutely.
Jennifer Libby, brand new director, just 11 days of the Owatonna Chamber, and if you have some questions or comments, give her a call. I'm sure she'll be glad to talk things over with you.
Absolutely.
And we are going to be back because we do have some announcements we want to pass along, so don't go away.
Hi, I'm Amy Martinez.
And I'm Adam Martinez, owners of Snap Fitness in Owatonna.
Snap Fitness is a fast, convenient, and affordable fitness center, and we're proud supporters of the Owatonna Today Show.
Everyone deserves opportunities to have a good life, a quality education that leads to a stable job, enough income to support a family through retirement, and good health. But the reality is, many children fall behind, many families are struggling, and many others are in poor health. United Way's goal is to find long-term solutions. Thanks to a grant from the Otto Bremer Foundation, we're hosting community conversations this year to address these issues. If you'd like to join us, please call our office.
Hi, this is Barry Gillespie, president of ERA Gillespie Real Estate, where our pledge is to save you money, save you time, and simplify your life. And we're proud supporters of the Owatonna Today Show.
We are back, and it is on a Friday, which means there's still a couple of days left for you to take in the 5 days of fun remaining. Downtown today, of course, there's going to be the street dance this evening with a pulled pork or chicken sandwich dinner by Famous Dave's, and bring the kids and have a great time at the street dance. Johnny Bird is going to be opening for the band, which is Tomcat. And then, of course, on Saturday and Sunday is the Festival of the Arts. And if you're a Farmers Market fan, they're across the street from the Festival of the Arts. So take in that as it's the last full weekend in July. And also, coming up on Sunday at the VFW, they're going to be having a benefit pancake breakfast to benefit the Arts Center from 8 a.m. till noon. Tickets are $5 in advance and $6 at the door. And the Steele County Historical Society is going to be having a new exhibit. Of course, you probably know that Steele County has been dubbed the butter capital of the world. They're going to be having a grand opening on Thursday, August 1st, marked by a dairy industry roundtable at 7 p.m. in the Winger Room of the History Center. And also, some of the exhibits are going to include several videos and artifacts from both the Steele County Historical Society collection and others on loan, a collection of wooden butter molds, a bulk tank, milking equipment, dishes, transportation items, so many different things that go along with butter making. And prior to and during the Steele County Fair, a butter sculpture of Steele County Princess Cave of the Milky Way will also be on display. And don't forget the blessing of the animals at Associated Church coming up on Sunday at 9 o'clock. All leashed, caged, or crated-friendly domesticated animals are welcome with their human companions. Pictures of animals and friends who have passed or do not travel well are also welcome at this blessing service. And that is going to do it for today, Friday. We hope you get out and enjoy all the great activities going on around the community and the area. Have yourself a good weekend, and we hope to see you back here on Monday. For Leanne Alt, I'm Betty Johnson, and this is the Owatonna Today Show.